Hey everybody, Betty's back again. Right, today this is a requested video, and I hope I get your surname right. It's Anne Blabd. It's spelt B-L-A-B-D, so I might be pronouncing it wrong. I don't know whether it's shortened. But anyway, this one is for you. This is a chili con carne served with just some rice. So I'll show you the ingredients and we'll get cracking. Okie dokie, so we have half a pack of lean beef steak mince. There's about 500 grams there, which is what we need, about half packet. That was a kilo packet. We have 1 red pepper. We have some olive oil. We have some tomato puree. We have some tinned tomatoes. A tin of red kidney beans, some chili powder, we're using cayenne, we're also using some marjoram, 1 beef stock cube which goes into 300 ml of boiling water, we have some cumin, ground paprika, some rice, whichever rice you prefer. I think this is basmati, 2 garlic cloves, 1 large onion, and I'm using, you can use sugar, a teaspoon of sugar if you want, but it also says in the recipe you can use, and I've done this before with the chili, is dark chocolate, just 1 decent-ish square of dark chocolate. Right, so let's get on with it. Right, so I've got my pan on. I've put 1 tablespoon of olive oil in there, and it's been on a medium heat for about a minute or so. So I'm going to put in now my onions and my peppers. I'm going to brown these off. Saute them until they're soft. So that's that chopped up. Let me find a utensil. So you know the drill. I'll come back in a second, but in about 4 or 5 minutes in reality. Okay, so that's at about 5 or 6 minutes now. I've just kept stirring it and the onions have started to soften up nicely. So, next in, when I find the correct spoon. So, we have a teaspoon of ground paprika. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of your preferred hot chili powder. I'm using cayenne, so I'm going to put in quite a heat-ish teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, of cayenne pepper. I'm going to chuck my garlic cloves in as well. Get those in. So again, we're going to give this some love and stir this around and let it cook out for about 5 minutes. So I'll see you in a second, guys. Okay, so they're nicely starting to brown off and saute off now. So I'm going to go in next with our ground mince beef, and I'm going to just slightly turn this up a little bit while this, turn it up a little bit. Use my meat masher and break this up. Right, so I'm going to continue doing that and cook this out until all the meat is browned and there's no pink meat left. Right, so what we're looking for is to brown this mince off rather than just stew it. So that is nicely cooked now. I said about 5 minutes. So, next thing to go in is our 300 mils of beef stock with 1 stock cube. I'm just going to rinse that out a little bit just to get the bit off the bottom, so there'll be a slight bit more. That's going into there. Lovely jubbly. Next to go in is our, it's supposed to be chopped tomatoes, but we've only got that. You just break them up, basically. That's all I'm going to do. See if I can do it without getting any of my nice white work shirt. Normally doesn't happen. Anyway, the tomatoes will break up whilst they're cooking as well. Give it a good stir. Right, next to go in, about two tablespoons of tomato puree. 1, 2. There we go. Again, give that a stir. Just turn that down a slight bit. Right, next to go in is half a teaspoon of, where's my teaspoon? Half a teaspoon of marjoram, dried marjoram, which we so happen to have. Yeah. About half a teaspoon. That's probably a little bit more, but hey, what the heck. Give that a stir. I am going to turn that down a little bit. I don't want it to lose too much liquid. I might have to add a little bit more liquid in there. Right, next, season. We like plenty of pepper, so plenty of pepper is going in. And salt. There we go. Give that another stir. Still making sure I break up those tomatoes, but like I say, they will cook out and soften up and break up. I'll tell you what, that smells absolutely delicious. Right, so the next bit would be you either put a little teaspoon of sugar in, or in this case I'm putting in some dark chocolate. I think that's 85% dark chocolate. I love it in a chilli. I've also done a chilli with mince and with beef chunks as well, and that's really nice with chocolate in. Really nice, I have to admit, but it's been a long while since I've made a chilli. So this one was requested a while ago. Right, so we're going to simmer that for a little while, for about 2 minutes, and then we'll bring it back up to the boil. Right, so that's been simmering away nicely now, so I'm going to bring that just up to the boil. Just going to bring it up a little bit. It's been simmering for about 3 or 4 minutes, just gently bubbling away. When I've had a taste, and it is lush. If you like your chilli, you're going to like this one. So I'm going to just wait for it to come up. It's starting to come up to the boil now. So I'm going to turn it as low as it'll go on that one. Where's my lid? Turn it right down, lid on, and we'll leave that for 20 minutes to cook away. But please make sure you keep checking on it and give it a stir every now and again in case it catches. And if it does, you need to add a little bit more water. Right, so that has had 10 minutes. I've constantly stirred it. I've kept my eye on it just to make sure it doesn't catch on the bottom, which it hasn't. So the next step, just going to turn that, it is low, it is very low anyway. The next step is I have drained and rinsed these kidney beans, so they are going into the mix now. Give it a quick stir, and we're now going to leave, again keep your eye on it, we're going to leave the lid off and cook this for a further 10 minutes. So I'll be back shortly, guys. Okay, so that has had, it's 10 minutes now. Just bubbling away gently, like so. So I'm going to turn it off now. And all we're going to do, if you check for seasoning now, I've already checked it, and it's fine. But if you need to add anything else, any more seasoning, you can do at this point. So anyway, off the heat, lid back on, and leave it to sit for at least 10 minutes, just to let everything mingle together. Right, so while that is sat there with the lid on, and not on the heat, I've got 100 grams here of rice, which is 50 grams per portion, per person, so that'll do for me and man. So all you do is look at the measuring on there, see where the line is, so that's up to like 100 there. So what you do is you put twice the amount of water to the rice. So I'll put 200 of water, and that goes in to the rice. So we'll turn that on. So it shouldn't take long to boil up because that was boiling water anyway. So I'm going to let that come up to the boil, and I'll come back to you. Right, so as you can see, this is coming up to the boil now. So I'm just going to turn it down slightly, down to a simmer. This is how I do my rice, and keep your eye on it. I'm not going to stir it. I'm going to wait until all the water is absorbed, and then I turn it off the heat, put the lid on, and just leave it until a good 5-6 minutes, until it goes nice and fluffy. So I'll come back shortly. Right, so that has absorbed all the liquid now. As you can see, before it starts to catch on the bottom, it's just starting to. So I'm going to take that off the heat, lid on, and then just leave it for a good 5-10 minutes. Just let it fluff up. Okay, so I've left that for a good about 10 minutes actually. And as you can see, there we go. It's not stuck to the bottom, and it's nice and fluffy. Let's have a check on that. That's looking good. Right, so I'm going to serve this up, and then it'll be taste testing time. Right, so there we have it. That is my chili con carne, served with rice and a little bit of sour cream. That is optional, but I quite like it with that. So, right, taste testing time. Right, I've got my weapon ready to dig in. So I'm just going to try some of this chili first. Have a little taste of that, the full Monty. Just the right amount of kick for me, that. You can make it stronger, you can make it weaker. You just use the chili powder of your choice. So I'm just going to try a bit with that and a bit of the sour cream. The sour cream just cools it off a slight bit, contrasting with the heat of the chilli itself. But lovely with the addition of that chocolate, it really does make a nice, rich chili con carne. Nice deep flavour. That is banging. Right, so thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for all your lovely comments and all your lovely recipe ideas. Keep them all coming. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It really would help us a lot. So I'm going to leave that there for now. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. See you later. Bye for now.